Hi.
Hey.
I see so many familiar faces. Okay, so you'll mute everyone, right? But we definitely want people to ask questions in the chat box. The more questions, the better. We want to ask Greg all the questions about video and cold calling and just having a positive mindset, during this time. I think that's where he shows up and provides a lot of value. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely. So we will monitor the chat. Let us know what questions you have. We will also towards the end maybe open it up for if anybody wants to turn on their microphone. But we really want to be intentional because Greg has so much amazing content to share with us, and we only have 30 minutes.
So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. Okay, Greg, I want you to share with everybody who doesn't already know who you are, just a little bit of background about yourself.
Okay. Hey guys, I appreciate you having me on. Stevie, thank you for the invitation. It means the world. She's been a good friend of mine for about 4+ years. Amanda, she and I have been besties for the last 20 minutes. It's been amazing. But guys, those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg McDaniel. I've been a real estate agent for nearly 20 years here in the San Francisco Bay Area. My team is predominantly operated in the luxury area. Average list price around $1 million to $1.3 million, give or take the day and the location. I started and joined my father, who's been in the real estate game for 48 years, literally an OG, half a century in the game. And I've learned everything from him. And so I just was doing my business one day, couldn't figure out why people couldn't understand what normal real estate was in my brain. And a lot of people weren't getting the training. So I started a podcast that I've been doing for almost 5 years called Real Estate Uncensored. If you guys haven't heard it, if you have small children or if you're offended easily, don't listen to my show. But if you want good, fun education that's going to make you laugh and blush and kind of giggle, go ahead and watch it. It's going to be, we're just getting better and better guests on here. When I got into the business, I was the epitome of that punk from coming out of college, colored hair, earrings, tattoos, pretty much fuck the world, here's to me. And my dad took me by the back of the head and smacked me, brought me into real estate, and I've been doing it ever since. And so I started out, so I was such a screw up, doing door knocking and cold calling. For the first full year, I did nothing but door knock and cold call 6 to 7 days a week, and probably did about 100 to 150 doors plus calls every day. So when you hear and see any kind of the scriptings or the techniques or why I'm doing dials or so on and so forth, it's because what I was raised in and how I learned the business. And I've been able to be blessed enough to be able to go off and start really perfecting my video game. I've been doing a lot of live videos. I apologize to folks before Facebook Live even came out. I said I apologize to all my friends and family because I know I'm going to abuse the heck out of this microphone and camera because I'm always going to be on it having fun, and I have succeeded in honoring that prediction. So I'm here today. I'm here to drop knowledge bombs. Guys, please write down any questions you may have about video. A lot of folks are afraid of it or intimidated by it. I can tell you one thing. It is, honest to God, one of the easiest things to get over. And I'll give you one little trick on how you can get over doing video and move forward. Because when I first met Stevie, that girl, she saw a camera. She went the opposite direction at Mach 2. And I told her every day, I'm like, look, stupid, you're going to be really good on camera. Just get the fuck in front of it. You got everything you need. And she's like, I don't know. She finally listened, and now look at her. She's she's breaking the internet here.
I feel like it's so funny. I think it's good that people hear it from you because I have said over and over, and Amanda can vouch. I'm like, my friend Greg McDaniel, he embedded in my brain for a year that I should do videos, and it took me so long. And he told me that my business was going to blow up, and then I did it. And guess what happened?
It blew up. Damn.
Yep.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Just so you guys know, the reason why, quick show of hands of those of you on camera, how many of you guys are doing video once a week? How many of you ever done video? Oh, this is going to be an interesting conversation. Okay.
I'm like, wait, do it again. How many are we doing video now that I'm in this full screen? Oh, once a week. Okay, so we have 4 or 5-ish. Well,
how many people are posting 2 to 3 times a week on either your Instagram or Facebook stories, and or doing an Instagram, IGTV, Facebook Lives, all kinds of stuff like that? Well, I know you are, Stevie.
Yeah.
I can't get away from you. It's like the Hahn is here.
That's what I want. Nobody can forget about me.
No. So you guys just kind of break it in. I'm going to be taking notes for things that come to my mind. I'm going to give you guys resources and places where you can go get content if you're newer in the business or you just don't know what you want to talk about. I'll give you a resource where you can go get content for 7 days a week, all totally different stuff, and kind of how you can rehash it back out into the general public. So, Stevie, Amanda, floor is yours. Let me know what you want to talk about.
Well, I guess I am curious to know, like, I'm just getting asked this all the time, and like, how have you been doing with what has been going on in the world? How have people had asked, like, how have you been getting business during this time? I think I would love to talk just like a little bit about mindset and how you're staying positive and active and keeping the needle moving.
Sure. So keeping the needle moving is it's been hard for all of us. I'm a large extrovert, just like probably a lot of you are. And being stuck in your home, you want to go out and throat punch somebody because you just want to get out and go talk to another human. You feel super fucking awkward when you got to be 6 feet away from someone. If you don't have your mask on, they look at you like you're the kid that needs to be taken out into the schoolyard and beaten. You're like, bitch, I'm just trying to get some corn. God damn it. All right, fine. You can have it. And so for me, it's true. I couldn't figure out with this lady. And you guys, I'm 6'5", so I make short people's lives wonderful at supermarkets. That's why I think they like me. It's like, oh, grab the corn on the top. No.
Thank you.
I just take up too much space in the aisle now.
Yeah, Amanda's like 4'11". She probably really appreciates someone who's
I do.
And so for me, for mindset, you guys have all heard of the phrase or the idea called a BHAG, right? Big.
No.
Okay, write this down, guys. It stands for BHAG. It stands for big, hairy, audacious goal.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that.
And so for what it does for me is I take my BHAG, and so I want you guys to think of something right now. Think of something that, like, a big, hairy, audacious goal, something that you like, that you have no idea how you're going to obtain this thing, but you just know that you want it, right? For an example, a while ago, I just said, you know what, I want to make $50,000 a month in passive income. And so my dear good friend, Miss Bernice Ross, if you haven't read up on her, you should go over to Inman. She's been contributing for 19 years, head trainer. She's amazing. And Stevie, if you want a rock star woman on here who's a straight OG, I'll do an intro for you. She's awesome. You'll love her.
Okay.
But when I went, my pleasure. She said, take your BHAG and then double it. Okay. So I want you guys to take your BHAG for your income and double it. So let's say, for easy numbers, let's say you wanted to make $20,000. Again, very low number, just round. So now you're going to make $40,000, right? Then double that again, that's $80,000. And that's where you should get your toes should tingle, your palms of your hands should sweat a little bit, the back of your hair should stand up. You break out into full body sweats because you have no idea how this is going to be accomplished. And so to keep my mindset strong is I keep focused on my BHAG. And there's this little book that's called It Works. And it's seriously tiny, right? Like,
yeah,
you can read this in like a half a nanosecond. And what it talks about is that, there's three ways to accomplish your goals and your dreams. And these are the three things you need to do on a daily basis. And they're so simple, people automatically completely disregard them because they're like, nah, that's too simple. So the first one is you're going to write down and then read the list of the three things that you want to achieve. I want you to do it morning, noon, and night. Second off, I want you to think about it as often as humanly possible. So let's say you got up, got a workout in, got some breakfast, got changed, you're rocking the day, you're having some cereal, you read out what you want, right? And the reason why I want you to read and write it out, because it goes from intangible to tangible. There's something scientific with your brain when it goes into a written form where it comes to something where you actually have to achieve it or you want to achieve it, or it becomes more realistic than just going, that would be a good idea. I should do that someday, but you never take action on it, right? So you write it down 3 times a day, and then you think about it as often as possible. So if you're driving in the car, you have an appointment that's late, or you're whatever, you fill in the gap. You're working out, just repeat in your brain as much as humanly possible, like what that goal is. And then last but not least, don't fucking tell anybody about this goal. This is yours. This is your own personal little thing. This is where you live and what you want to achieve. Nobody can judge you for this. And so what I do is I do this on a consistent basis, and it keeps my brain moving, because once you give your brain a problem, If you give your brain a $10 problem, it'll give you a $10 solution. If you give it a 200,000 or 400,000 or 800,000 or $1 million problem, it'll give you that same result and answer in kind. So the goal is for you, if you guys are kind of worried and concerned about being shut in and, kind of this whole crisis and pandemic and how do you keep your goals aligned, well, you just stay true to what you're trying to achieve. And I've had this happen to me multiple times in my life. Like right now, the vehicle that I'm driving, I had it on my dream wall for 4 years. Guys, it popped off the wall down to the rotor colors, the interior, the style. I mean, everything's exactly what I had on my wall because I focused on it. The universe is the largest Amazon Prime ever. It will deliver anything you want to it, but you just got to understand what you're asking for. And so when people talk about mindset, they get their mindset all down in the dumps because they're comparing themselves with Steve or Stacy, in the office who might be doing this, that, or another thing. When in reality, we don't know what their journey is. We don't know what their path has been on. We don't know their struggles and trials and tribulations in life. All you have to do is focus on you and you making that one better step a day. So if you get up and you do one thing better today, you should be ecstatic and happy for yourself because, we don't know what everyone else is doing. We can't control their outcome. You can only control your outcome. You may love Donald Trump. You may hate Donald Trump. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is nothing you do today is going to affect him, right? So you've got to let your reality, the Navy SEALs call it the 4-foot rule. Anything within 4 feet, you can control in your reality. Okay. Everything outside that 4 feet, you can't control. So stop worrying about them. Stop worrying about everything. Let's just worry about how you execute. And then give yourself the reward. Pat yourself on the back. Go out for a walk. Drink an extra glass of wine. Eat some chocolate. Go to the gym for the second time of the day. Whatever it is that gets you going, reward yourself. Do micro rewards as you go through your day, your week, your month, and your year. Because, why do you think every single month of our calendar year has a weekend or a holiday? Have you ever thought about that? Always something to look forward to. So the same thing for your business. Always have something to look forward to so that, when you achieve these goals, they're going to be very small by the time you get to them, but at least there's something to look forward to. Yeah. So that's how I'm handling some of my mindset. And I'm not going to lie. Some days are pretty rough. There's been some days where you just want to hide your head in the sand and just be like, what is going on in this world right now?
Yeah. So I think what I'm hearing you're saying is like every single day, checking in with your goals, morning, noon, and evening. And I think that's been helpful for me is that I actually laid out a business plan of, not only everyone has this yearly goal, but I've broken it down quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And it's in front of me at my desk. So I'm visually having to see it every single day because I feel like in our minds, when we're just like, I feel like every agent's like, I want to make $100,000. And then like they forget about it. They forget what do I need to do daily to achieve that goal. So for me, visually seeing it every single day has been really helpful because it's like, okay, I got to do bing, bang, boom. And then another thing that you mentioned that I feel like a lot of us could relate with is the comparison game, looking at what other people's goals are, seeing what they're doing. I'm averaging 4 Zoom calls a day with real estate agents all over the country. And a lot of them are, I will say, newer. And I feel like they just feel so discouraged seeing like my social media or seeing my closings and not feeling good enough because they're not producing that. And it's like, I've been doing this for 5 years and they're wanting this, they're wanting these social media leads that I have that I've been able to build my business off of. And it's like, are you showing up every single day like I am? No. Mm-hmm. What makes you think that you should have that? And I think you shouldn't compare someone's, chapter 10 to your chapter 1.
That's a good point, Stevie. When Matt and I, my co-host on Real Estate Uncensored, we started our podcast, we literally had no idea if anybody would listen to us. And we just said, well, how do we grow this thing? We looked at Gary Vee. We knew that when he grew Wine Library, it took him 18 months of hard grinding, not looking up, just content. And so Matt and I looked at each other and we're, okay, 18 months it is. We didn't look up for 18 months. We didn't look at our numbers. We didn't do anything. All we did, we just sat there and ground it out. And now we're one of the top podcasts in the industry. Yeah, I still can't believe that. It's still surreal, but it's not a Thank you. It's not caring about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
You know, Stevie, you go out there unabashedly on a daily basis, and you just you speak your truth, and that's where a lot of people get into shooting video. They don't know what to talk about, how to say it, what camera to use, what this or that. Dude, just get that damn thing in your fucking face and start talking. Just start, let people into your universe, because every one of you guys and gals that are on this call tonight, you guys all have what I call a superpower. You all have something that we all need to know about and should learn about, but you're depriving all of us from learning that about you. And the way the universe works is all energy, as you guys all understand. And so when you don't do your best, I can't do my best, because I need you to do you, and me to be me for you. And as you know, like the butterfly effect, it all works in harmony together. So I mean, I want you guys to write down right now, and we'll go into this in the Q&A later. Write down 1 or 2 things that you really know a lot about, and it could be about how to cook. It could be about how to do real estate. It could be how to make a bike. It could be how to build a house. It could be about raise kids. It could be anything that you are really good at, and I'll show you how to start making this into something where you'll attract a tribe and people will start following you. And then I'll give you some tools to really show you guys how to create headlines. If you're going to do videos, they'll get people to click on them so that people start getting into your universe. Does that sound fair?
Love it. I love it. I think that this is a perfect opportunity to transition into videos. And I think one thing that would benefit the entire call is getting over the fear of videos, right? What content to put out, what platform should I be putting it out on, and how often? So I just take it away.
Oh no, I'll just okay. So first and foremost, ladies, look, you guys are the biggest problem childs on earth when it comes to getting on camera, because you guys never think your makeup isn't perfect, your hair isn't perfect, your outfit doesn't look perfect. I'm having a fat day. Fuck. Are you kidding me?
Yep. I think we all can agree.
I mean, right? Anybody else guilty?
We can all agree.
Except for me. I'm the only girl on the call that doesn't care.
You're perfect, Greg.
Oh, stop. But some of the stuff, I mean, okay, the 2 biggest complaints right off the gate is, well, Greg, I don't like how I look on camera, and I don't like how I sound on camera. Let me answer this one for you. You have friends or family that still love you, care about you. You have clients that listen to you. None of them have run off with blood coming out of their ears from the sound of your voice. Look, you're going to be just fine to do the video. Now, in door knocking, when I would always go out and train people around the country to door knock, I would always joke and say, the hardest door you're ever going to meet is going to be your car door. As soon as you get that car door open and closed, the rest of the doors are going to be just fine. That's the same thing with video. The hardest video you're going to do is going to be your first one, because you're going to be judging yourself to such epic proportions, because, and I can't fault you for this, because we've been ingrained in this in our head. The fact that when we watch newscasters and actresses and actors, these are professionally trained individuals, how to speak, act, move, and look on camera with sets of people to do their hair, their makeup, their wardrobe, everything, right? And so they're very controlled environments that these people are in, so that when you see yourself on camera and you're like, oh, I don't look like this individual, or I don't sound like that individual, it's because you weren't given that skill set, from professional training. Now, that's a good thing. People are stepping away in mass droves away from polish. They're stepping towards raw, gritty. They're stepping towards people who want to be like themselves. Like you ladies, I don't know how this whole thing started, but obviously you guys have seen Stevie and Amanda do their stuff on camera. So you're like, oh, I like this chick. I want to hang out with her. I want to learn from her. Imagine how many women and men in your life, in your sphere of influence, are saying the same things you were saying, but you're denying them the access because you're being selfish. You have so much.
Mic drop.
You guys have so much power, so much knowledge, so much to give to the world, but you're depriving us.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Stevie, so I remember you did your first live video, it was years ago, and I believe you had to drink like half a bottle of wine or something to do the first shoot.
Oh, yes, with Christina. We went out. we did a video. I think we went to go get happy hour, and we were both so nervous. We went and did the video, and I look back on it and I'm like, oh my God, that was so silly. But it was like my first step, like getting out there. And the second video that I did was in a house, and I had a selfie stick, and I was so nervous that it was shaking like crazy. And I don't know why, but I was out back and it was so windy out, so my hair was blowing like crazy. And I watched the video back, I'm like, why didn't I go inside? Like that was like wild. And so like my videos in the beginning are horrible, and I see them pop up on my timeline, and there's some like on my phone, and I'm like, oh my God, they are so bad, but they're so good, because it's like you have to go through that whole process in order to get good and figure out what works. Like, and what doesn't work. Like I figured out, okay, the selfie stick doesn't work for me because I'm a little bit nervous. So maybe I should prop it up on something so that I can stand back and shoot that way, right? So there's just like things that you're going to learn, you're going to want to tweak. And in order to do that, you have to go through the process. And I wanted to share this because I was talking with a real estate agent about it this morning. What I was like so scared of, and like when Greg was like telling me like, do videos, what was my thing that I was self-conscious about was like what other real estate agents thought of me in my marketplace. And they knew I was new and I wasn't as experienced and I didn't have these closings. And an agent had mentioned it today, and I've been hearing over and over and over that that is their same concern. And I feel like I had to justify to them and tell them, if I saw an agent in my market that was brand new, that showed up and was doing videos like I am not judging her. I am going to be cheering her on and telling her, wow, this is freaking awesome. Even if I know that she has no closings, but yeah, she's updating people on market stats. She's going through neighborhoods. She's educating them on new communities. I'm not judging them. And I don't think anyone is. And like, that's just an example of like, it's just in our head, right? I don't think any of y'all would judge anyone for getting out there and doing videos. And even though they're brand new,
That's like yelling at a fat person in the gym. Like, hey, chunkster, get out of here. What are you doing? That's like the rudest fucking thing you could ever say to someone who's trying to do something new. Because you know what, like right now, I'm starting a whole new film series. Right, I got this the sheet that looks like dog shit and chicken scratch all racked together, but it's supposed to be. It's called a shoot sheet. But I'll show you guys where to get all this stuff. But I'm having to use new equipment. I'm having to use new techniques. I'm having to use new stuff. And so I'm consistently out of my depth. So if any of you guys are saying, well, Greg's done all these videos or podcasts or anything else, yeah, that's true. But I mean, like Stevie and I and Amanda and everyone else, we started and we just continued to go. You know, I'm a weird person. I've never met a camera or a microphone that I don't like. So this is like kind of like my happy space in front of my lights and my mics and my cameras. But it's true though. I mean, Stevie, when I first started doing video, I had this giant coffee mug. I mean, like it was like this big. It was a prank gift, right? Yeah. I set my phone up on that with my box of my business cards behind it, and there's my stand.
Yeah.
And it worked just fine.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I was going to talk about was that starting out, you don't need anything. You need your phone and that's it, right? Mm-hmm. Let's not overcomplicate this. If you feel that something you're going through or a thought that pops into your head and you're in the car with just the back seat behind you and your car's a mess, who cares? People relate to that. You're real, you're authentic. They care about the content that you're putting out there, and that's what keeps them showing up time after time. I don't think you guys are watching Stevie and I just because, you know, she has perfect, and we're the balance. No, you guys are watching us because we're putting out content that relates to you, right? So same thing.
Well, you can also have a lot of fun, you know, like this when you're doing your videos. I mean, you've got to be able to just start enjoying life because, you know, when we're first talking about this, I mean, I love the San Francisco Bay Area where I live, but every once in a while I need to go, you know, to hit the bar, you know, and get a drink, but I really like being outside sitting in the sun. That's awesome. But I get too much in the weeds and into outer space. And then I just gotta bring it back to my quiet place really quickly and back to sitting around. I mean, it's just having fun with what you're doing at the exact same time that you're doing it. I'll take all those crazy things off, but it's one of the first things that I had a big struggle with was, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to help
Yeah.
people? What kind of value add can I bring to people? So guys, prehistoric writing tool. It's a pen. Pick it up. Or for all you youngins, get your thumbs ready and start typing on your smartphones. The first one is going to be neighborhoodscout.com. These are all going to be free resources. So neighborhoodscout.com. I want you guys, whenever you get a chance, go on there, and I want you to type in your zip code of a marketplace that you work in. And then when you pull it up, you're going to see a red outline of this zip code. Within that, you're going to see micro markets in different colors. And so the really powerful tool about this is, let's say you are new in the business. Let's say you are new to video. That's totally fine. They are going to give you a breakdown. So let's say you have an open house, when we get to have open houses again, at the corner of 456 Maple and 23rd Street, right? Well, go find your micro market area in your zip code of that area. Click on it. It'll give you a breakdown of the real estate information. Now, this is all going to be broad, like a broad sword, not a scalpel. So it's good enough to get a conversation going. Then it's going to have like notable and unique people, places, ethnicity, ancestry, modes of transportation, occupations, all kinds of stuff that you can do multiple different videos on. So you can create playlists per zip code in the areas that you work. So when people are looking and you do the SEO keywords, and I'll show you where to get those in a minute, you can really start becoming searchable and knowledgeable. So all of you ladies that are in your marketplaces, I can guarantee you nobody is doing what I'm talking about doing right now. And you can go in there, you start making playlists. So when you're at the open house and you meet Bob and Rebecca, who are moving in from Tupelo, Mississippi, and they're looking to buy, and they said, well, do you know about the area? No. Well, give me your email. I'll send you a link to my YouTube channel where you can watch my different playlists of the different market areas here. You will instantly become someone of knowledge to them. Why? Because you're on camera. Why do we trust newscasters? I don't know. Do you know a newscaster personally? I don't. Actually, I know one. He's weird. But, we only know them because they're on camera, right? So if you're on camera and you're dropping knowledge on for folks, and you're not looking to sell them anything, you're just looking to bring value, people gravitate towards you. You can also take this exact same content in these, because it's beautiful written up on articles. It's very simple. You just copy and paste this whole thing, put it in a Word doc, put your header on the top and the bottom of the pages, hand them out as printed or a PDF, get their email and send it to them. Now they have something tangible to read about that area that nobody else has provided to them. I mean, that's your first resource. Neighborhood Scout can make you a knowledgeable human being about the areas that you work. The second one is going to be Realty Times. And Realty Times is another phenomenal free resource. And you're going to go to the consumer advice tab there. You're going to roll your mouse over. It's going to drop down. And I think there's 8 or 9, but the first top 7 are really the only 7 you really want to deal with. And that's going to be advice on buyer, seller, new home, HOA, something else. I'm forgetting, but there's 7 of them. So they have really short, sexy titles that you can go in. And so for 7 days, a week, pick one video, one sector a day, start building these playlists on YouTube. Over time, these things will grow to be incredibly powerful, and they're all very, very relevant because they're written, right now. They're written by real people. And so you can just grab them, and this is what I would do. Grab it, read it, regurgitate it back out on camera. Don't plagiarize, but say, what, guys, I found another great article, here at Realty Times. This is the article. This is my thoughts. Here it is. Bloop. Yeah. And by the way, here's a link to the article if you want to read it yourself. If you have any questions, let me know. And that way, every single day, 7 days a week, if you want to do it 7, or you can do it 5, or whatever the number is going to be for you. Start with 1 day a week. Pick whatever it's going to be for your market, buyer or seller, most important, and start creating this content. Content is king. And the longer you can be on YouTube, the better. So if you can do a 15-minute video versus a 4-minute video, because people go to YouTube to watch long form. That is our own personal YouTube channels. It's our own personal TVs, right? Why? I mean, TV can't deliver what you want all the time, but people will go and use their meat nuggets and type in what they're looking for, and boop, there it is, and click. All of a sudden, people now find you.
Yeah, I've been mentioning Realty Times, and also if you just YouTube and look up other real estate agents and all the videos that they post. I was even, after one of my calls today, I checked out a girl's Zoom or her YouTube channel, and I was like, I should do that, I should do that, I should do that. And I've heard people say, oh, I don't want to redo a video, a topic of one of my friends or another agent. Who cares? We all rip each other off and
Well, we don't rip each other off. We rip each other's ideas off.
but like, and what I'm posting is like going to be so different from her video anyways, and no one is going to have any idea. So don't feel like, I've heard time and time again from agents being like, this realtor, she just did this topic and I want to do it, but I'm like hesitant. It's like, no one cares.
Yeah.
No.
And chances are the people that you're reading and that you're following or watching, they're probably not in your market anyways, right? I mean,
yeah. And if they are, who cares?
It's okay.
And so this is one thing I want to stress to all of you guys. I mean, with your fingers, put them up in the air. How many years you've been in the business? 1, 2, 10, 10, 3, 4, 2. Okay. So pretty much a smattering.
Someone
1.
was like, bing, bang, boom.
Like this many times, man. Come on.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Your dinner.
I mean, Greg, you've been in the business, what, 18 years?
Dude, come on. Stop cutting my knees off, bro. 20.
20.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
20 years in the business. And when I first got in the business, there was this agent. Her name was Monique Martin. And this woman, I don't think she ever learned how to smile when she was a younger human being. Because when I was in her neighborhoods, I mean, I remember this one time I drove past her. She had a dominated an area called Whitegate. And I was in her hood door knocking. And she gave me the look like she's going to eat my firstborn. And I was just like, holy Christ, this is the scariest human being on planet Earth. And I go back and I tell my father, my team leader, about it. I'm like, Dad, like, I think I really pissed Monique off. He's like, why? And I told him, because I was in her area and I was door knocking. He looked at me really seriously and he said this, Greg, success is not owned. Success is rented. So when you have a top producer or a team in your marketplace that's working in the area that you want to work in and they try to intimidate you, just know to the fact that they are renters. And if you work hard enough, you will take over that lease of that ownership of that marketplace. And if someone ever fucks with you and says, you can't go in my neighborhood, like, absolutely, totally agree. As soon as you show me the receipt for every single deed in that area, I will never door knock there again, or I'll never call there again.
Damn.
It's a giant fuck you to every agent who tries to bully all the younger agents and newer agents. Because you got to understand, look, these guys, when they see you doing something, and all of you gals on here, you guys are all beautiful women. If you need to get on camera, because you will crush an old fuck like me. Okay. It's just the way shit works. And these guys and gals that are watching you do your videos, they're petrified that one of these days the tsunami is going to catch up and all the content you've been building in the back end is going to rush forward and they're going to be completely, null and void. And that's where the power that each one of you hold. And that's why I was so, certain with Stevie 5 years ago. I'm like, dude, get on camera. You will crush it. And you guys will do the exact same thing. Please don't let your insecurities get in the way. Your future, your spouses, your significant others, your future spouses, your kids, they all are going to thank you for what you do now. Your action is required. You will not succeed without, being proactive and staying on the leading edge of stuff.
I truly feel like if I didn't show up on video, I would not still be in real estate. I would not have the business that I have, especially showing up with social media and being me and sharing who I am and all the behind the scenes. And I just don't think I would have been successful off of cold calling, buying Zillow leads, realtor.com and all those things. Like, they're all great and they all work, but I can't even imagine like where my life would be. And so I just feel like for you, like, just think like the business, the people that you could help with all of this.
Right.
Oh.
I truly think that, times have changed, right? So we're consistently adapting, right? And think about how much people that you're not helping, how much money you're leaving on the table simply because your voice is not being loud enough for them. They're not hearing you. They're not seeing you. So when it comes to real estate, they're not thinking of you either.
So this is one of my favorite things that I was ever told. This is our business card. And yes, if you want to get a good giggle,
This is such an old
the 12-year-old right here with Dumbo ears, yeah, that's me. That was out when I was 20.
You still pass that out?
Fuck no.
Oh.
I passed this one out. No.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
I was getting a lot of shit for this. And so I like, everyone was telling me like, dude, have you ever thought about upgrading from your 10-year-old photo? I'm like, shut up. I know. My two business partners are like Ken dolls. They don't age. It's ridiculous. But the noise that's out there right now is so overwhelming. When we start doing our marketing and we do a mailer or a call or a Facebook or whatever else, ad, and we're like, gosh darn it, why didn't I get a lead from that? It's the equivalent of this. You're at the 50-yard line at Super Bowl and you're in the middle of the halftime show and you stand up with your business card. I'm a real estate agent. Here, look at what I have. Call me. Ain't nobody gonna see that.
No one cares.
Nobody cares. And that's why doing the videos, these are living business cards. This is your own personality. This is, who you are, your style that you want to, attract into you. Because the good thing about doing video is that you can create your own followers. You can create the people that are going to, resonate with you. And it's okay not to resonate with everybody. I mean, I did a podcast last week about COVID, and my three guests and two other co-hosts, we went hard left on some stuff and had some conversations. One guy hit me up, was like, hey man, I've been a follower of your show for years, but you lost me off of that. God bless you. I'm like, all right, man, take care. I just, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
So just don't try.
Yeah.
Just be you, be authentic to you. And this stuff will start falling. People will start coming out of the woodwork to work with you that you want to actually spend time with. Ow. Let's talk a little bit. Do you want to talk about equipment, or how much time do we have? Because I know
we'll keep on the topic of videos real quick. We're already over time, so we'll just have to have you come back so we can talk about cold callings next time. But I know you want to share some equipment, so let's chat about that.
I do. Okay, so this is the first piece of equipment that I ever got, guys. And it comes in a little baggie like this. It's from Rode Mics. It's the Smart Lav. So it's the lavalier microphone that you clip onto your shirt. And on the back end, you have an adapter like this you plug directly into your phone. Now, there are the dongles and stuff for the new iPhones and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So you basically just take this, plug it in, obviously. Then take this, plug it into the bottom of your smartphone. Now you have a lavalier setup that you can walk around with. This is about $80 on Amazon. This thing will give you a good lav will be about $200. This is about $70 to $80. Completely usable with your phone. I also got the extension cord with this guy. So this is about a 30-foot extension cord that I can then clip on, step back away from the camera, and still provide solid audio in windy locations. If I'm out in a house where there's a lot of hardwood or tile or something like that, and you're walking through the bathrooms and the kitchens and hallways, and you're getting the clickety-clack and everything else from all the other noises, this will eliminate about 95% of the noise. So this is incredibly easy to use right here. This one actually, Stevie, I actually got from you.
Is it the stand?
No, I have that right here, though.
Okay.
I
don't remember.
Huh?
What was the name of the mic?
It's called a Smart Lav.
Lav. Okay.
L-A-V. Second thing I got was this little guy right here. This is a little mobile light.
Oh my gosh.
You remember this thing?
Yeah, I'm all about that selfie light.
Dude, it clips on the top of your phone like this, right? And then you're there.
Awesome.
And it even comes in a super manly pink bag, which
and it's like $10.
Yeah, it's like 10 or 19 bucks or something ridiculously small. But I haven't charged this thing in like a year and it still works great. One of the things, especially for COVID, what I'm doing some calls for right now, and I'm getting a really good response rate, is I'm calling around and I'm talking to folks about, hey, can I come out there and I'll shoot your property in a 360 camera and then give it to you for free, no cost, just to build rapport. And so years ago, before any of this 360 stuff was popular, I went out and I bought this. This is the Insta 360. So insta360.com. You can get Android, you can get, iOS stuff, but I mean, it's like $120. Thing shoots ridiculously good videos.
Wow.
You can go live with this and let people really see environments. The difference if you're going to shoot with an Insta360 or any 360 camera, instead of going in and pointing like your camera at the room and showing them the room like this, like we typically do, you're going to go into the middle of the room, stand there for a 10 count, and then move to the next room: bathrooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, living areas, backyards, everything. Because people are going to sit there and they're going to be spinning and, doing this the whole time. But this thing is like $120.
That's a really good price. One of my friends just bought a camera and they spent $400
on a 360 camera.
I mean, I don't think that brand, but it's a camera that gives you the whole view.
Wow.
It gives you the whole you.
View.
Oh, view. The
whole
camera
you.
gives you the whole you. What does that mean?
Actually introduced me to the VR kit, which is $100. And oh my gosh, she rocked my world with that call and telling us about it. And I mean, I have the camera for it, the stand that it goes on. It's on this little rotating stand. So
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool. Like, it works perfectly in the kitchen, but if you're in a vacant home, I like put it on a paint can that I found in the garage. So my view was a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Well, that actually brings in
only $100, and that's the VR kit. I put both of them in the comments, guys.
There is that brings us to a really good point when it comes to, if you really want to step your game up. Now, this is stuff that's going to be a little bit more advanced. It does not cost a lot. It just takes a little bit more to learn. This is this is something that I've used, Stevie, that you will recognize. This thing is a suction cup. You can suction cup it to any flat surface, and then you can pull it up and you can put your iPhone and iPad, whatever, on this thing, and you can go up, suction cup it onto like a desk somewhere at an open house or at your house, and you can just do videos directly off of this. They don't make this one anymore, but they'll make other things like this. So you can either get the suction cup with a clamp, either one. But this is my newest toy, and I love this thing.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Drum roll, please.
This is the DJI Osmo 3 gimbal. Now, this thing is amazeballs. I have been playing with this thing, and they give you little lineup strategies because you got to get it all, straightened away. But any of you guys have never seen a gimbal. Basically, watch this. So I'm going to let it rotate down. I'm going to power it up, and it's going to pop right up. And then it's also going to be able to go sideways, and I can get silky smooth, just kind of great cinematography shots with this thing as I'm either shooting landscape or vertical. For about $128, this guy can come into you, has stabilization. Yeah. It's awesome.
I have a gimbal too, and it's really affordable, and it's just so cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
The videos look like professional, legit videos for a good price.
Yeah, for a phenomenal price. This one has story mode. So if you, like Stevie, for you, since you do a shit ton of stories, like you can go and you can create them. You can pick up the one you want. They have background music. All you have to do is hold it, and the gimbal will do everything for you, and it'll help post and edit. If you're looking to do some walking shots and really to get some good motion shots of your area, this is the newest one, the DJI Gimbal 3. Go and look at this thing and see what it can do for you. I researched it inside out and backwards and upside down. Comes in this little cool little bag, right?
Now, and it support the new iPhone?
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shooting with the 11.
Okay, because the last one that I got, Jamie knows my struggle because she also introduced that to me, and it wouldn't hold this, and it just kept falling over. It was top heavy.
You gotta get weights. They sell counterweights.
Yeah.
You can just clip onto whatever gimbal you have, and then if you have a big phone like we do, the 11, you just pop these on there, screw it on, and then you're fine. And they're like $10 on Amazon.
Oh, I took mine back and I was like, screw this.
I hate this thing. No.
It's not working.
If it doesn't work within 5 seconds, I'm over it.
Well, the first time I was using this, I was so excited that I was sitting there and I'm recording it. All of a sudden, it just goes, wow, Just go, I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't power it up, or no, what I didn't do is I didn't stabilize it in the beginning to let this thing to figure out what's going on, and then power it up.
Yeah.
There's just little tips and tricks on this stuff. But I mean, we can go down the rabbit hole hard on video, guys. The number one most important thing is just to please start. You know, it doesn't matter. Like Stevie laughs about her first videos. I laugh about my first videos. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but obviously nothing the way that my videos came out. But I didn't stop. I just kept rolling and kept pushing and kept creating, kept getting new equipment, and build this slowly, but just start filming.
That's kind of how I feel with my YouTube channel. I just feel like, I'm back at square one with it. I'm starting over. I don't have the best editing and all those things, but I just feel like, okay, I need to just show up and get this content out there. And I've talked to so many different people, and no one makes a YouTube channel and like all of a sudden they have thousands of views unless you're a celebrity. And I just feel like, you know what, I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep providing value. I'm going to keep posting, and eventually it's going to pay off. I'm not diving in and expecting to get leads off of it right away. But if I'm making videos and posting in other places, I might as well plug it in on YouTube as well.
Okay. So Stevie, that was the best segue I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like you're a natural at this. So let's talk about growing your YouTube channel, guys. I want you to write this down. When you go to YouTube, I want you to write down YouTube agent. Okay. My buddy Jackson Wilkie and his business partner Jesse, they're agents out of Portland area. And, Jackson will teach you how to build a YouTube channel that creates a crap ton of leads. He's been in the game for about 9 months. He figured out, he's done 2 deals. He figured out real estate is just not his shtick, but doing video is his shtick. And so he really dove deep in when he and Jesse partnered up. And Jackson he's basically the first guy I've ever met that's broken the code about how to get a ton of views on your YouTube channel. So there's one of the systems that he uses called Keywords Everywhere. And on Keywords Everywhere, you pay $10, you get 100,000 keyword searches. So $10 should last you about a year, give or take. And so you'll be able to really kind of go in there, and when you type in certain phrases and certain sequences, you'll be able to see how searchable that phrase is. So here's an example of that. I was messing around with this the other day, when I first started out. And for those of you who don't know where I am at, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. And so I just typed in the city I live in, Walnut Creek. And I found out that Walnut Creek gets 49,500 searches a month. Okay. I typed in Danville, another city, 12,100. Danville weather, 14,800. Concord, 33,100. Then we go to San Francisco, 823,000 searches a month. San Francisco weather, 1 million searches a month. Oakland, 201,000 searches a month. And so when you can start creating video titles and tags with SEO and keywords in it, then you'll start becoming incredibly searchable and visible. And Jackson looked at me the other week and goes, Greg, if you had learned about SEO and keywords 10 years ago when you got in the whole video game, you'd be a multi-millionaire and one of the biggest vloggers on planet Earth. I'm like, awesome. Thanks for the heads up on that one.
Well, now you know.
And now I know, and that's what I'm doing. And so, there's another thing called TubeBuddy. So if you go to TubeBuddy.
Oh, I think I just heard about that today. What is that?
So basically what TubeBuddy is, it's it will go in and it can help you work directly with YouTube on your titles and your tags and everything else, so that you can become as much as SEO compliant as you possibly can, so you can be searched as much as you possibly can. But the number one thing for 100% free, go to YouTube, type in YouTube agents, check out my boy Jackson, kind of watch what he's putting out there. And if you want to start creating a YouTube channel where everything will just continually bring value and bring leads to you, that's your one-stop shop. I've taken him to all of the biggest connections that I have, and they have all lost their marbles when they heard what he has learned. Like, everyone's like, holy shit, you're the first guy I've ever come to learn to do any of this stuff.
So cool.
It's so cool, and it's so easy. Like, I mean, I was in the city shooting, like I'm doing 3 videos tomorrow and the next day, and I had to go get some B-roll shots of the city. And I'm going to do like, should I move to San Francisco? Top 10 things you need to know before moving to San Francisco. San Francisco Neighborhood Guide 2020, and then the top 5 San Francisco neighborhoods, moving to San Francisco guide. These are the SEO keywords that I'm shooting off of, and that they're editing for me. You just need to get in there and just start doing this stuff, because when people are sitting inside and they're not doing anything, or if they want to learn about something,
searching.
If they're moving to Jacksonville, Florida, right, or Dallas, DFW, and I've been to Jacksonville once. I've been to DFW I think twice in my life for my brother and my sister when they went to college there. I don't know shit about those neighborhoods, right?
Right.
But if you find someone that's telling them about it consistently, you'll become the only person they'll want to work with.
Videos just build up such credibility, and it's so easy. It's free, and like literally there's nothing fancy behind it. And it's just like, why isn't everyone showing up and doing it? It's crazy, right?
Well, it's exactly because of what we're saying right now. People are afraid of what they look like and how they sound. They don't want to be laughed at. And you guys, I will literally pay you guys, I don't know what, make it fun, something small, $10. I'll pay you $10. If you go and you do if you do a Facebook Live about something in your area, if you get one really bitchy negative comment, I'll pay you $10. Because I bet you anything, everyone's gonna be like, right on, girl, great work, great content, you look gorgeous, I love this, great house, whatever else.
Yeah. No one's ever said anything negative to me. I mean, maybe they've said it behind my back, I don't know, but no one's been like, that sucked, or you shouldn't be doing that, or you should have fixed your hair or something. Like, it doesn't happen. It's all in our mind of like what we think. So I guess we got to wrap things up. We got to have you on again. I thank you so much for your time. I feel like you provide so much valuable content for everybody. It was just fire. And I could see everyone taking notes. I know this was a good one.
Thank you so much. And if people want to reach out to you, where can they find you?
I'm probably one of the easiest human beings on earth to find. If you guys want to have a direct conversation with me, ask me questions, go over whatever you want, DM me on Facebook. Look for this ugly mug with a giant microphone in my face. That will be me, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, do anything I can do. If you guys are friends with Stevie and Amanda, you're now friends with me. And the whole point of me starting my podcast and doing these different blogs and podcasts and interviews is the fact I want to make sure that everyone in this industry can live the best possible version of what they want to live. And if I can play some microscopic itsy bitsy teensy weensy role in that, I'd be flabbergasted and ecstatic to do it. So DM is definitely the easiest place to get a hold of me.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great night.
We'll talk with you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Stevie.
You're welcome.